Hey, live prepper here. In a little bit of a silly mood today, but I got here an article. It says dropping off the grid, advice from experienced homesteaders, and it was published June the 10th, 2015, and it's American Prepper Network. Now, what it talks about is getting more off the grid here. It says thinking of dropping off the grid. If you've become more and more skeptical of the economy, the stabilization of the country, or you just want to be more self-reliant, there are ways to go about withdrawing yourself from society in a healthy way and reducing your dependence on others. Here's how to avoid the mistakes others have made and become self-reliant in a year or less. Now, it says a year or less, but that's not necessarily the case. If you have children involved, you have to think on that also. And other situations, it depends on how much debt you have. It depends on what happens, job situation, anything. But you can still slowly start changing it. One thing is focus less on appearance. There's always a component when you choose to be self-reliant. One of those components is your rest. Being concerned about. You can't be concerned about your appearance unless you pick up sewing and become a master tailor. But most people who will end up having used clothes and will have to adopt a policy of buying more functional or practical clothing that's durable and forego fashion. It says high maintenance places don't work when you're a prepper because there's a lot to keep up, especially when you have other more important things to worry about, like eating. And now I've got friends out there, and I go shopping with them from time to time, and they buy things that $50 for a shirt that I wouldn't give you. I said, I'll just watch y'all go to Salvation Army. I get some nice clothes at the secondhand store. A lot of these people spend more money than anything. They want it at the time. They get it. They put it on their account. They put it on their credit card, and they look great. Clothes looks great. But then when they get tired of it, they don't wear it no more. They go buy more. To focus less on appearance is about getting comfortable in things and your surrounding. I'm sorry, being out in nature in a designer dress is just not going to work. I'm sorry. You need some sweatpants or work pants and some shirts, but wearing designer clothes is not always the answer. Unless you're into that thing, that's cool if that's what you want. Now, another one says get a bug out in bag. Bug out or bug in bag, especially emergency kit. Now, bug out bags for times when you might have to leave your home due to an emergency situation, a flood, a fire, or maybe some serious weather or evacuation state of emergency. Now, the bug out bag should include some food rations, a way to filter non-potable water, a way to sterilize water for other uses, bandanas, wool blanket, antibiotics, antiseptics, the basic overall list. Now, the bug in bed is similar in concept, but it's designed to help keep you safe when you have to barricade yourself in your house. It should contain everything a bug out bag contains, but more of everything with a focus on non-perishable food and water, power from generators. So basically, a bug in bag is like say you got a storage container, and in that storage container you got extra band-aids and medical supplies, maybe some extra alcohol, maybe you got in there some sea rations put up, some dry food put up. You got a couple of jugs of gallons of water in there you got put up. That's what a bug in thing is. It's just thinking about putting this back and having it to get you through for a number of days in a situation that you cannot get out. It says another one, save money and condiments. Save some harsh cash and put it somewhere safe in the house, or consider some hard condiments like gold, silver, platinum, so where you can be self-reliant. It's talking about you can exchange this for cash and barter with it, situation like that. Another one's get rid of debt. Now that's just everybody's case. I made some hard choices, and I let some things go. Didn't want to, but I let it go, and I said, I just can't keep paying it. I'm not going to be able to do anything about it anytime soon. So I got rid of it. I'm having to split up my money and pay a little bit here and there, but I'm doing with less. I'm trying to cut back and save and quit spending so much on things because I just don't have it for one thing. So I don't have to have those things. It says keep ordinary and regular expenses to a minimum. That means ditching your expensive cell phone and getting a cheaper track phone or something similar. And I did. My cell phone, the payments were like 124, 25 a month. I cut it down to 70 something a month. I keep it on hand for reasons, but if I could go even cheaper, I probably would try that if I can. But right now, I don't see it happening. It says you could also get rid of the internet too if you want to, but then you're limited to radio for news, which isn't ideal in this day and age. I don't even have my TV hooked up, and what news I pick up is from what people talk about, or I happen to see it, or I happen to see it in the paper. I just don't keep up with all that anymore. I don't care to keep up with reading about it. I'm not worried about it anymore. It's just, if it happens, it happens. It's just nothing you can do. It says get a power generator. Uh, it says like Ford Power sells solar generators that don't require gasoline. This is a very good idea because gas generators aren't portable and have limited function. I said I wanted some solar chargers to put with my backpacks, and I was kind of saying why. They couldn't understand why. Because then I can charge little things up, like my cell phone up. Even though I may not get cell phone service, I can still use that there to keep up with basic things like the time and things in that area. I can still have it the same way with the use of being a small portable generator. You can still be able to charge little things up to use in a situation like, maybe be able to heat a little hot plate or anything like that. Start farming and saving food. Well, that's just a must. Now, I see a lot of people that does save up food, but they don't farm. Now, but that's the location. Now, right here, he said, if you get the one of the most important things you can do, start becoming more self-sufficient, start a hobby farm. A few chickens is a great start. Plant a vegetable garden, and you have eggs from the chickens, vegetables from the garden, and pretty much endless food supply so you won't starve. If you get more serious about it, you can buy a cow and keep it out on the pasture for milk and other dairy products, or get 2 cows, breed them, and have an unending source of meat. Expand your farm to include goats, lambs, and whatever else you might want to eat. Over time, you might like it enough to become an actual farmer. Sell your surplus for profit and never want for anything ever again. It is a harder life, yeah, you bet, but you won't be reliant on other people. It's not an easy life to live at. It's a lot to do. You have to get out there and take care of the animals. It's not right running down to the store and just buying something of it. But at the same time, I think you find more of a peace of mind than anything. That's the whole thing about that. It's just really a basic layout. Most people here, unfortunately, most people are not going to give up their lifestyle. They're not going to give up the clothes. They're not going to give up going out to eat all the time. They're not going to give up the fancy cars. They're not going to give up any of that stuff to go and live more off the grid into a simple life. You will find some it does, but they wake up one day and says, I don't need all of this. It's time to change. Just real simple stuff. I mean, it's common sense on it. But unfortunately, you're just not going to see it happen much. It's just not going to happen. It's just, like I said, the percentage of people who are living off the grid or living off the land, the number is not really that high. I mean, they're there, but they're considered eccentric. We're people who wants to be away from other people or wants to live more off the land and stuff. People says, yeah, not me, not. So it's just some simple things, choices. Getting away from the designer clothes and going to basics. Same thing, like I said. Eliminating your debt. Quit living off the credit cards and live off of what you got in the household. Quit running to a restaurant every night. And basically, alternative pure source and things like that. It's just real simple choices. Am I there yet? Oh, I'm still struggling. I mean, I'm struggling. I mean, every day I'm struggling. Do I want to be totally off the grid? Sure I do. Will it happen? Who knows? But I'm still trying to prepare it. I've changed my way of life on a lot of things and just don't need a lot of stuff anymore. I just say, that's just stuff. I don't need all of that. Hang with it. Well, this is Life Prayer for here. Will you be safe, be happy, bless you all.